There will be new consoles, but probably not any pro consoles. And we have to look to the past to understand why we probably won't see that before we talk about the new. Now, if we look back when the Xbox One and the PS4 launched initially, and you look at the hardware on those, they were not very powerful consoles. They came out pretty underpowered. They were barely pushing 1080p, not anything really close to 60 frames per second. It was pretty much a struggle to get these consoles to really push for the games that were coming out at the time. And to compete with the competition, which was the PC, which still is the PC, they had to come out with revisions, and this is where they had to invest more money into making the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. Made sense at the time to kind of do that and give that upgrade and that spec bump, but it does cost money to do that, which is not what these companies particularly want to do. So that's why you saw with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S that they pushed these consoles out with all the power capable into them right now. I mean, at the time of launch, or before launch, they were talking about both of these having 8K gaming capabilities. Well, they kind of walked away from that, but the whole idea is these consoles were able to kind of get to the standard that we're looking for today. They pretty much launched these consoles exactly what they should be. Even the Series S, if you want to call that underpowered, I don't think so. 1440p gaming is a nice sweet spot for a lot of people out there, so I think it's in the right range. But what we will probably see is revisions. So definitely with the PS5, I think we're gonna go away from the pop the collar fins that are on those things and probably have something a little bit slimmer, a little bit sleeker that it comes with it, more customizable plates and things like that. I think maybe a quieter fan out there for some people that do complain about the fan noise. I think those are some of the things that we'll see in that, plus increased built-in storage, because the 666 or so that they give you out of the 825 as advertised is just abysmal. Now on the Xbox side of things, what I can see with that is one thing, a palette swap, where there'll be a black Series S and a white Series S. I can see them doing that. I can also see them taking the Xbox Series X and making an all digital version of that a little bit smaller so they can give you a little bit more compact machine. I also see storage increases for both of these as well too, especially on the Series S side. I really would like to see them get that to at least a terabyte, and if they make a new X, I would like to see them get that to about a terabyte to a terabyte and a half or so. I think that's really what they really need to do with these consoles. I don't think there's much more that they could add to this right now, because the current hardware that's in them is powerful enough and games aren't quite reaching there yet. We're still waiting for a lot of that to get developed out there, and trying to introduce new hardware and upgrades at the point where we are right now and the cost associated with that, this doesn't quite make sense.